Live Kabbalah is a non-profit organization founded for the distribution of the wisdom of Kabbalah and its values. Learning the original principles of this wisdom can reconnect us with the true values of our society, including the belief in the dignity and freedom of man, democracy, and the freedom of speech.
Shalom everyone, this week we're in Parashat Hukat. Hukat means the law, constitution in Hebrew, but it doesn't say any kind of constitution. It speaks about the law of how to purify someone from the strongest impurity in the biblical law, which is the impurity of a dead body. How do you purify that? The law is you take a red cow, red young cow, which is called the red heifer, you burn it, you use the ashes to purify the people who got impure. You read it with a modern outlook, it looks very hard to get, hard to understand. What's the connection between a red heifer, a red cow? How do you get a red cow? How do you burn the red cow? And how could that improve the purity or impurity? Isn't that something of a person's heart? Do I need the ashes of red cow in order to purify my heart? What does that mean? Now, in order to understand that, we have to understand the basic understanding of what the Torah readings are about. Mount Sinai revelation, some 3,400 years ago. According to the understanding of the Bible, we understand that the giving, what was given on Mount Sinai, was the freedom from death. The Israelites could hold that gift for 40 days only. However, we have a remnant from that gift, and that's the 5 books of Moses. So, whenever you connect it to the 5 books of Moses, if you know how to connect to it, you have basically the ability, according to the sages, according to Kabbalah, you have the ability to connect to what is called the tree of life. Because the 5 books of Moses are a manifestation of the tree of life on the physical mundane world. When we study the Torah, when we learn the Torah, it's not just the intellectual thing, we do it in order to connect to that consciousness of the tree of life. Now, we lost that consciousness after Mount Sinai revelation. However, every week we have a special reading from that 5 books of Moses. And that reading is meant specially for that week according to the sages. What does it mean? Yes, we cannot get the whole thing at once of total freedom from the angel of death, total eternal life from the Torah. We're limited about it. However, the death we can face, the fallings we can face, the troubles we can face every week, the healing, the remedy for these diseases, these problems, could be found in a reading of that week in the Torah. Which means, although it looks like a story, although it looks like laws that have nothing to do with our everyday life, deep inside, behind every sentence, every story, there is a remedy to one of the problems we can face during this week, and not in another week. So, if we look at the 2 main stories of the parasha, one of the stories is a story of the red heifer. The other one is a story that the Israelites again are complaining. And again, we are not looking at the Torah as a history document. They were complaining. Why is the Torah telling us about the complaining? It's because that this part of the year we have a problem that we have to overcome, and that's our own natural tendency to complain. When things do not go our way, when we are disappointed from something or someone, we start to complain. And we know that complainers are not winners. The complainers are losers. And why? The answer is very simple. When you complain, it's like a virus. It takes all the capacity of your heart and your mind. You cannot be a complainer and at the same time be successful. Why? Everybody knows that people who are successful it is because they focused all their energy, all their intelligence, which is the heart and the mind together, into one goal. And when you just get aligned all your energies together towards your goal, that's when you get a goal. I'm talking about the real goal, big goal, challenging goal. You have to be totally focused. However, when you're complaining, all your energy is focused towards someone to blame, something to blame, somebody to blame, even yourself. In that moment, it's like you got a virus in your computer. You have no powers to achieve any victory or to challenge any problem. And that's why complainers can never be winners. It's either or. And a person in his life has many moments every day that he has to choose. Do you want to complain or do you want a victory? Both, it's impossible. You cannot have both. So, why is the Torah bringing in the last few weeks about the complaints? It's because this is the time we have to learn how to heal ourselves for one of the biggest diseases, which is the disease of feeling the complaint and feeling like a victim. We know that during the month of Cancer, people who are in the sign of Cancer, they have a very strong tendency to feel victims because of their energy structure. You want to understand more about it, just listen to the class about the sign of Cancer in this site, in our site. Now, the Parashat of Hukat, our Parashat, is always in the beginning of the month of Tammuz, which is the sign of Cancer. And there is a disease that is called cancer, the worst disease. And what is this disease? Did we get that from infection? It's a virus or a germ? No. It's a cell in our body that decides to attack the rest of the body and to kill it. It shows imbalance, which means, and that's what medical science is starting to show, that internal imbalance will be manifested, the mental one, into a physical imbalance. So, if you want to heal the disease, first of all you have to go into the original sin, which is what created the imbalance. That's the state of mind, the psychological state of mind, that somehow brought our body into a state of disease. Parashat Hukat has the healing, the remedy for diseases. How do you balance? How does a red heifer, the ashes of the red heifer, brings to balance? And how does a copper snake can heal from the bite of a snake? That story is also in this parasha. What does it say? The Israelites were complaining. Snakes came and bit them, and they came to Moses, and Moses, by the direction of the Creator, created a copper snake, and they looked at it and they healed. Till now, the symbol of medicine in many places around the world is that copper snake. But there's another symbol. The symbol is, when we're talking about getting the person immune, making him immune to a disease, it's called vaccination. The source of the word vaccination is vaca, Latin for a cow. Why a cow? The first vaccination that has been discovered in history of medical science is the story of Dr. Edward Jenner, a British doctor, that he found out that farmers who got infected by cowpox from their cows were immune to the death plague. to the Black Plague, which was a terrible disease. That big part of Europe was erased by that. So he started to infect people deliberately by cowpox, and by this he created in them the immunity. So he took the immunity from the cow. That's why he called the immunization process vaccination. What a coincidence. The cow, the story of the red heifer, is the secret of all healing in the universe from any kind of a problem, either health issue or mental issue, any kind of issue. How? This is the time to go into the class itself on our site, listen to the whole class, and you understand. However, remember, any problem we have in this week, there's a remedy waiting for it. And especially in this month, the remedy is a physical health, not just the mental, both. So, have a very successful week. Thank you.